Hello students, how are you? I hope you are fine. Today we will discuss about the noble metals of chapter 4, metals and non-metals. Noble metals are those metals which do not react with other metals or elements. For example, gold, silver or platinum. These are not react with other metals, not with water and not with any other chemical. They are occur free in nature. These metals are present at the bottom of the reactivity series. Students, you have read about the reactivity series in this chapter at page number 54, table 4.2. In that table, a series is given of metals in decreasing order. At the top of the reactivity series, potassium is present, then sodium, then barium and so on, and at last silver and gold is present. After gold, platinum metal occurs. It is not given in your book. These metals are present at the bottom of their reactivity series. These occur free state in nature. These are unreactive and even not react with the water or any other acid. So students, these are known as nobles, as their behavior is like the real life heroes. Who are real life heroes? Those who don't want to mix with any other. These are known as the noble metals. Next are the uses of noble metals. First is make ornaments. Students, the noble metals are mainly used to make ornaments, gold and silver, as they are unreactive. So the ornaments are made from them do not lose their shine easily. It is used for making ornaments. Second, decoration and protective coverings. Gold and silver. Gold and silver are used to give decoration and protection coating on other metals. Decoration and protecting coverings on the other metals. Third, high value coins. Means gold and silver is also used for making high value coins like gold coins and silver coins. Next is electrical gadgets. Platinum is used in electrical gadgets. Students, the international standard of weight and measures are made up of platinum and iridium alloys. So it is used in electrical gadgets. Last is investment of money. Students, these metals are being highly priced. So a number of people invest their money. So people invest their money in these noble metal ornaments, especially in times when the economy is not doing well in the country. Students, next topic is alloy. Alloy is a mixture of two or more metals. Two or more metals or one or more metal and a non-metal. And non-metal is usually used carbon. So alloy is a mixture of two or more metals or one or more metals and a non-metal. Understand? Why alloying is done? Why alloys are formed? Alloys are formed to change the properties of metal to suit certain applications. To suit certain application, an alloy is made by mixing two metals together in a molten state. Molten state means liquid state. Firstly, the liquids are melted, then both the metals are mixed, then alloy is made. Or sometimes they are formed by mixing the powder of the metals. Next is the uses of alloys. First, alloying can be used to increase the hardness of metal. How metals? How we increase the hardness of metals? Alloying is used because they have specific properties that are desired than those of the pure elements. For example, students, if we take pure aluminium, pure iron, pure copper, they are too soft. If they are too soft, then they are not suitable for construction purpose. However, we can mix these metals with some other metals or non-metals to increase its hardness. Similarly, nickel is alloyed with chromium and molybdenum to make alloys that are so hard and heat resistant, and they can be used to make the parts of the jet engines. Second, alloying is used to make metals more resistant to attack by chemicals and corrosion. Students, chromium is alloyed with iron to produce stainless steel which does not rust. It is also used in the lining containers in the chemical industry to hold corrosive liquid so that the liquid cannot corrode the internal wall of the container. Alloys of platinum are also very useful. They are corrosive resistance. Third, alloying is also used to change the properties of metals in other way. For example, here we can take the example of solder. Solder is an alloy of lead and tin, has a melting point which is much lower than that of the lead and tin. Students, this solder is useful for joining copper wires in electric circuits. Next, students, we have some examples of alloys at the page number 59. See here at the page number 59. First is brass. Brass is formed by combining copper and zinc. The properties of brass is hard, corrosion resistance, and the uses. It is used in making utensils, electrical goods, cartridges, containers and parts of watches and musical instrument. Second is bronze. Bronze is made by combining copper and tin, and the properties of bronze are hard, corrosion resistance, and the bronze is used in making statues and bearings. Next is solder. Solder I have told you back. Lead and tin. Properties of solder: low melting point and it is very strong. Uses: it is used in joining metals, bodies of ships and other vehicles, bridges, railway lines, construction of buildings. Next is stainless steel. It is formed by combining iron, chromium and nickel. Properties: very strong, does not rust, light and strong. It is used in making utensils, cutlery, surgical instruments. Next is duralumin. Duralumin is formed by combining aluminium, copper, magnesium, manganese, aluminium and magnesium. It is light and strong. It is used for the bodies of aeroplanes and vehicles. Next is magnesium. Magnesium is formed by combining aluminium and magnesium. It is also very light and strong. It balances and other light instruments. It is used in making balances, weight balances and other light instruments, bodies of aeroplanes and vehicles. Last is German silver. German silver is formed by combining copper, zinc and nickel. Property: it is highly electrical resistance. Uses: it is used in utensils, electric heaters and resistors. These are the examples of some alloys. So you must learn the constituent presents, properties and uses of each and every alloy. So thank you students.